used to be the Division of Tourism, Antiquities, Culture, and Transportation. And so we rearranged and upgraded because we understood the importance of the orange economy to our tourism product and the fact that as a subset of this territory, the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago's autonomy as it relates to what we do with our tourism, we were able to see the importance and the inextricable link between tourism and the creative industries. What we've also done as a Tobago House of Assembly with the support of a central government is focus on having a standalone division that treats with the environment, climate resilience, and energy. And that particular secretary works directly with me in the protection and preservation of what we do in terms of orange, green, and blue. We continue learning from our Caribbean neighbors. And I spoke to it before. No man is an island, and I mean, that's probably a pun intended here. But we all look at legislation coming out of even you, Belize, and I had to do some research on how much you were able to treat with your natural assets. I think too many times as the policymakers, we think we have all the answers, and we don't. And we have to start relying on our communities, the people we serve, to also be custodians of our islands, of our territories. In Tobago, for instance, and I heard it yesterday, the Castara model. Without governmental intervention, it's the one area that has the best tourism yield. You would be amazed that these are the communities where we really get that solid, authentic tourism product and coming out of it in a sustainable way. And so I believe we need to get into the communities, keep our feet and ears on the ground, ensure that our hearts are really in it, and have the communities lead us, not just sit from our big fancy offices and come up with the policies with our technocrats and believe we have all the answers.